Welcome to Eagle News International Australia, Oceania. I'm Minifedian from Sydney, bringing you stories from Australia, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. For the headlines, parts of Australia in lockdown amidst outbreak of COVID-19. Sydney faces wave of coronavirus with multiple cases in residential apartments. South Australia imposes lockdown in response to increasing risk to COVID-19. High school students in New South Wales extend online learning due to coronavirus restrictions. Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea organizes 2K Medical Centers Volleyball Cup 2021. And Grand Concert in Western Australia showcases Perth-based Filipino talents. Let's kick off with some coronavirus updates in Australia. Aussies were enjoying relative freedom with restriction easing in many parts of the country. However, all this changed with the outbreak as this variant continues to spread. Parts of Australia were placed in lockdown. With cases increasing in worrying rates, more Australians were put under stay-at-home orders. ALYSSA Ventura, our correspondent in Townsville, will share more on this. ALYSSA?
Lockdown measures have once again been implemented in various places in Australia as a response to the outbreak of the rapidly spreading COVID-19 Delta variant. Australia recorded more than 300 new cases as a result of the novel outbreak spreading through most of the country's states and territories. The COVID-19 Delta variant, first identified in India, was found to be the most transmissible strain of the virus so far. In light of this, areas across the country have once again been placed under lockdown procedures more than 1 year after the pandemic began last year. In New South Wales, the Greater Sydney area has been in lockdown since the 21st of July. The daily number of new cases is still increasing, now exceeding 300 new infections in just 1 day. Meanwhile, Southeast Queensland will end their lockdown on Sunday, August 8 at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The state of Victoria also entered its sixth lockdown on 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, August 5th, just 1 week after the fifth lockdown was lifted. These rapidly applied procedures, which were put in place when a mystery infection of a teacher put students from several schools at risk, is expected to be lifted after 7 days. However, with more than 20 new cases emerging since the lockdown, an extension may also be a possibility. The Australian COVID-19 vaccine rollout has moved forward to make the vaccines available for children from 12 years old and up who suffer from medical conditions or identify as Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islanders. So far, the daily vaccination rate of Australia is almost at 200,000 doses per day, and this number is steadily increasing. Pharmacies will now start rolling out COVID-19 vaccines to cater more people to get jabbed. In this current climate, we are asked to stay vigilant and to always follow health protocols that are implemented in our local areas. Reporting from Townsville, Australia, this is ALYSSA Ventura. Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thank you, ALYSSA. We hope everyone will continue following safety protocols to minimize the spread of the virus. In New South Wales, residents in some apartment blocks face more challenges after receiving news that their residential building has been put under lockdown due to multiple cases of COVID-19. Authorities have attended the area for everyone's safety, ensuring lockdown measures are in place. Eagle News correspondent Anna Serrano-Watson has more on this story. Anna?
A year has passed since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, transitioning the nation into the so-called new normal, a COVID-safe lifestyle. However, the arrival of a new variant has caused major cities to once again be placed into lockdown.
The COVID-19 Delta variant is an evidently highly transmissible strain,
With the number of cases booming and local transmission widespread, restrictions and lockdowns were considered. This has caused the cities of Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane to be placed in lockdown. Residents in these local government areas, or LGAs, are only granted permission to leave their homes under 4 essential reasons: for the purchase of groceries, provide and seek healthcare, exercise, and to work or study if unable to do from home. A travel radius is also effective for various LGAs. New South Wales has been experiencing a surge of cases since July, hitting more than 4,000 active cases to date. More than 4 million doses of vaccines were administered across the state. Sydney alone records hundreds of cases on a daily basis. Lockdown restrictions are more stringent than ever, as buildings and apartment complexes are put into lockdown due to emerging cases of the Delta variant in these areas. One of these is an apartment block in Sydney's Campbelltown, completely locked down as authorities investigate the multiple cases of COVID-19 reported, while all residents were confined to their apartments. We were able to talk to one of the residents there, sharing her experience.
Yeah, we're doing good. Frankly, it's not very different from how we were doing before this stricter lockdown. So the uniqueness in our situation is only that we're not allowed to go outside of the main door of our unit. So just to illustrate, we have, for example, we have a garbage chute just, maybe 5 or 10 meters away from our main door. So we can't even go out to dump our rubbish bags there. So that's how strict it is. And the thing that we miss the most is going out for exercise and breath of fresh air, because we would usually do that as a family, like just have a 30-minute walk or go to the closest diner to buy something, or go to the park because there's one just outside our building, and then just let our little one run around. So right now we can't do that, unfortunately. And how we cope, well, we just use our balcony more often now. We're still able to bask under the sun and have a breath of fresh air, and just find out more activities for us as a family to do. Deliveries are still allowed. So they just ask the delivery person to drop the goods off the downstairs, and then there's NSW health staff, or I think police, that would bring them back up to us. So they would wear PPEs just to avoid, of course, the delivery people from getting in and possibly contracting the virus. So that's all fixed and that's all good. Maybe sometimes due to the volume, they won't be able to bring it up to us very quickly, but it's not a big problem, I'd say. And also, just before the lockdown, we're lucky because our family was able to stock up on our supplies just before, so just in time. So we're doing good. We're pretty in touch very frequently. They would probably knock on our doors once or twice a day just to check if we need anything or if anything has changed with how we're feeling. They would also often communicate to us via the intercom. Well, aside from just staying indoors 100% of the time, we're told to, we're required to wear a mask whenever we open the door. So when we accept them, accept deliveries from them, we're also given the same advice that they give everyone, like frequent washing of hands. And they even gave us, like at the start of the lockdown, they gave us a pack containing masks and hand sanitizer.
Health authorities required residents to isolate in the building for 14 days and undergo regular testing. Support services are being put into place to provide for the needs of the isolated residents there. Australia's governing health authorities continue to urge residents to adhere to the guidelines in accordance with the standards of their local government authorities. Whilst the vaccination rollout is being expedited, authorities believe mask wearing is necessary to combat the new virus strain. Reporting from Wollongong, Australia, this is Anna Serrano Watson, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Anna. We hope that Sydneysiders remain safe and well protected. Moving now to South Australia. Compared to other states and territories, COVID-19 cases in South Australia has remained low. However, the state government has implemented restrictions including travel to and from the state and mandatory mask wearing. This is to protect the community from further surge of coronavirus cases. Here's our Adelaide correspondent, Aubrey Asanyan, to give us the current situation here. Aubrey?
With the whole country threatened by the sudden surge of COVID-19 cases and the emergence of the Delta variant, the government's rapid response is by locking down the state, which has proven its effectiveness, lowering the number of cases in South Australia.
After community spread was reported in multiple areas, residents of South Australia were greeted by Premier Stephen Marshall's announcement of a 7-day lockdown. This is to prevent the possibility of cases rising further. Locations such as the Modbury Hospital and the Greek on Halifax in the CBD were only some of many places listed as exposure sites. Thousands of tests were conducted, with more positive results turned in and exposure sites increased. The whole community was urged to get tested as soon as possible. More than 20 sites were deemed high risk, prompting the government to open more testing facilities, as some residents waited as long as 12 hours to get tested. By the 4th day of lockdown, promising results assured that South Australia was on track to lifting the lockdown by the planned date. The Premier commended South Australians for following the applied rules and restrictions, allowing for the easing of lockdown restrictions on Wednesday, July 28 at 12 a.m. Some measures will still be in place and masks are still mandatory post-lockdown. Nearly 1 million vaccine doses have also been administered to residents, further increasing the possibility of South Australians returning to normality.
The tighter restrictions and a community lockdown implemented by the South Australian government were positively received by many residents. It focused the efforts of the state towards keeping South Australians safe and healthy, allowing favorable conditions to minimize surge in cases. Reporting from Adelaide, Australia, this is Aubrey Sanyon. Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Many thanks, Aubrey. We hope that South Australians remain vigilant in their fight against COVID-19. After the break, we will hear of high school students in New South Wales extending their online learning due to COVID-19 restrictions. Plus, let's join in the fun as the Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea organizes another sporting event for the Filipino community. And concert goers in Western Australia unite in support of a grand concert showcasing the talents of Perth-based Filipino singers. All these stories when Eagle News International Australia Oceania returns. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Eagle News International Australia Oceania. In New South Wales, cases of the COVID-19 Delta variant seems to increase relentlessly, pushing further the resumption of face-to-face learning for high school students. Thus, online learning is set for another extension. Our Sydney correspondent, Mark J. Sebastian, is here to tell us more.
The state of New South Wales is currently experiencing the worst wave of COVID-19 since the start of this global pandemic in 2020. As Greater Sydney and other areas in New South Wales are reaching their 7th week in lockdown, businesses, workplaces, and schools are on a COVID-19 standstill, moving everything to a virtual setting in the event to help mitigate the risk of spreading the virus amongst Australians. Kindergarten students, all the way up to the students in their final year of high school, have switched to virtual learning since the start of this Delta variant outbreak. Here with us today are 3 high school students who share their personal experiences on online learning. Let us follow their experiences as they bravely excel in their education in the midst of this New South Wales lockdown. E-learning, or better known as online learning, has greatly assisted students across New South Wales to continue with their education despite the ongoing restrictions placed with face-to-face learning. Google Classroom, an online learning platform, is a free and controlled tool for teachers and students to easily manage and deliver learning and assessments. Despite this online platform, many students are voicing out that they still prefer the traditional method of face-to-face learning.
With online school, it's a lot harder, to be honest, because it's a lot harder to stay motivated. Learning face-to-face, definitely, because it's more easier. I have the help of my teachers and my peers, and it's just more more fun and better. It's easier to learn. I feel really upset about it because it's not fun at home and it's hard to stay motivated, and I'm missing my friends a lot.
I'm more able to work face to face, as it inspires me to learn better face to face. I find it a lot challenging to learn online, as it's a lot different learning face to face with typing on a keyboard more often every day, unlike writing on a book. But I adjusted throughout the week and I got better at it.
I've been coping very well, but I've been focusing quite well, especially the year 11s or 12s, preparing for the HSC or for the trials. And I think it's better to do face to face because you can get better help with the teachers as well.
With modern technology as part of our everyday lives, the transition from face-to-face learning and online learning has its pros and cons. Distractions while schooling from home are inevitable. Mobile phones and social media accounts are deeming as the main distraction and concern for our interviewees. Let us also learn how they overcome these distractions as they share a few tips on their experience with online learning.
Try to have a schedule and and focus on one thing and focus on finishing your assessments on time. But also try to keep healthy and try to motivate yourself into doing your work. I would say my phone was a distraction, but I would just put it away and just try to focus on my work and know the consequences of not doing it.
I have distractions when I'm at home, like with my phone, or with my other family members, the noise they make. But I just usually, when I try to study, I actually time-lapse myself, so I don't go on my phone, and I just watch it afterwards, and yeah.
Well, for any other students that are doing online learning, I really suggest this tip. So you should check on yourself, as this current lockdown is being extended more. It gives us time to focus on ourselves, our mindfulness, and our well-being. A lot of people are now focused on technologies. They may be on technology for too long. It really does change their life. So I really suggest that take some time off, look out the window, or maybe even read a book. I do that sometimes as well, or maybe go to the gym. It really does help as well with your online learning, as you feel more motivated to learn, you feel more relaxed, and it's a better way to approach this.
Although the world is living through a pandemic, education and learning continues to be a vital component in the lives of young Australians. It is truly inspiring to see Australian high school students push forward with their education in spite of their learning circumstances continuously changing with the current COVID-19 outbreak. Thank you to Jayron, Marielle, and Isabella for sharing their online experiences with us today. Reporting from Sydney, Australia, this is Mark J. Sebastian, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, MJ. We wish all high school students the best in these challenging times. Heading now to Papua New Guinea. To help promote fitness and bring back sporting events for the community to enjoy, the Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea in collaboration with 2K Medical Center, have put together a sporting event for the 2K Cup. Echo Hortaleza Quinola, our Port Moresby correspondent, will take us there. Echo?
The fun takes off for the Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea or FAPNAG Clubhouse as they launch the 2021 edition of the 2K Volleyball Cup competition. This event aims to bolster the spirit of sportsmanship and community among our kababayans. The officers of FAPNAG, headed by President Roxanne Cruz, announced that the 8 competing volleyball teams consisting of 4 teams for the men and women's division would take turns showcasing their serve, spike, attack, and block volleyball skills. Taking part in this activity were our kababayans who came from all different walks of life, from business owners to students, who took time out of their busy schedules to participate in this event.
This Volleyball Cup 2021 is brought to you by 2K Medical Center and we call it 2K Medical Volleyball Cup 2021. Meron tayong 8 teams na magko-compete, 4 na babae, 4 na lalaki. Maraming salamat sa mga sponsors na nag-commit ngayong time na to. Although kasi short period of time, pero nagawan pa rin ng paraan para matuloy. Oh, they are very much active. They are very much happy that the tournament will push through because they are waiting for it for so long. And because of the pandemic, we supposed to start March, but then it was delayed. And so finally natuloy din. We're very lucky here in PNG kasi hindi naman ganun kalaki ang surge ng COVID, although may mga cases, pero at least it's going down. Stay safe and well. Keep yourself healthy and keep on praying. God bless us all.
The 2K Medical Center's representatives, Dr. Luis Gachitorena, gave a short speech to inspire the players and to encourage them not just to compete to win, but to exercise sportsmanship and to have fun. Other representative, Rachel Maranan, chose the winner for the Best Uniform category. The prize went to the iPrints female team and Soare Best Mart for the male team.
We believe that a healthy mind and a healthy soul must coexist with a healthy body. That indeed, engaging in sports activities like this one is one of the best ways to keep our bodies healthy. As 2K Medical Center celebrates its 6th anniversary this week. Yes, it has been 6 years. Allow me to thank Ms. Roxanne and her council for giving us the opportunity to partner with the Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea in bringing back this tournament. Congratulations to everyone.
The players used this opportunity to battle their boredom and homesickness by joining these ball games hosted by FAPNAG. Our kababayans, who are innately sports buffs, were all engaged in this friendly tournament, taking the time to relax and reduce stress from work and daily challenges.
Importance po na itong game na to is para po makita po sa mga ibang manonood po na bilang OFW po at manlalaro po, masaya pong nagkakasayaan po tayo, naglalaro po at nagkakaisa po tayo. At kaya po sumali po dahil po ito po ay aking passion po. Dahil simula pagkabata po, ito na po yung sports ko until now. Message ko po sa mga kapwa manlalaro, sana po tayo po ay magpakumbaba. As always po, and wag po din po natin pabayaan ating sarili. Kaya
Marami tayong benefits sa volleyball especially yung mga health benefits natin. First, yung i-improve yung cardiovascular system natin, may improve. Yung mga muscles din natin, may improve. Plus yung hand and eye coordination natin na magagamit natin sa everyday life natin. Especially, lalo na tayo nasa abroad tayo, malayo tayo sa ating family. Kumbaga, yung pangungulila natin sa kanila, nalilesen. And this is a good pastime kasi nga you get to meet other friends, like meet other people. First, thank you sa pag-organize. Hindi biro mag-organize ng volleyball, so thank you sa mga organizers. And there's always room for improvement, so magtutulungan po tayo para ma-improve pa natin ang ating
league, volleyball league. Fun. It's mostly fun. Of course, meron pa rin competition. But at the end of the tournament, magkaka-friends pa tayo lahat.
This activity encouraged camaraderie, pride, and honor to our kababayans here in Papua New Guinea, encouraging them to be athletic, healthy, and united despite facing these challenging times. Reporting from Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, this is Echo Hortaleza Quinola, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Echo. What an inspiring way to keep people motivated in getting back to sports. Meanwhile, in Western Australia, Filipinos are renowned globally for their love of music and singing, whether accompanied by an acoustic guitar singing a cappella or most notably karaoke machines. Filipinos enjoy music. In Perth, music enthusiasts embrace a concert showcasing the talents of locally based Filipino singers. Eagle News correspondent Jenalyn Desby is here to tell us more of this exciting story. Jenalyn?
On the 24th of July in Cannington, Western Australia, an event called Down the Memory Lane, the Pinoy Jukebox Hits was held, successfully selling out all of its tickets. The concert showcased the amazing talents of Perth local singers who performed iconic original Filipino music, or better known as OPM songs. This event was orchestrated by veteran producers Art Soriano of Oz Pinoy Productions in collaboration with SBR Events and Entertainment, Nifty Cleaning Team, and Eddie Magduto of Radyo Natin Perth, meaning Our Radio Perth. Directed by Sheena Reyes Santos, the concert featured the performances of Filipino singers such as Gwen, Pabida, Faith, and Cherry, and also served to introduce newly discovered talents such as Eliza La Rosa, Fritzy Alcantara, Tin, and Mary. The versatile performers sang original Filipino music, or OPM, most tracks of which the audience were very familiar with, enhancing their excitement and entertainment. This was a memorable and meaningful event because it marked the first time that Pinoy local talents were given a chance to hold a grand concert that was supported by Filipino-Australian concert-goers in Western Australia. The producers carefully planned this show to give the audience a wonderful concert experience. Usually, famous celebrities from the Philippines are invited to hold concerts. But due to the current pandemic and travel restrictions, planned appearances were postponed. This, however, gave the producers a chance to highlight the singing prowess of Perth-based Filipino singers.
For me, it's an overwhelming experience kasi it's the first time I went up on stage by myself. Kasi usually, kasi nga po, band vocalist ako, usually I go out to the stage with my band. So that was the first time na I went out all there by myself. So yun po, parang overwhelming siya.
I feel blessed, and it was kasi parang yung unforgettable moment na alam mo yon, na nabigyan pa kami ng opportunity.
Kasi syempre, hundreds of people lang syempre manonood sa'yo. So, they expecting na talagang parang nakapokus yung sa'yo. Kaya medyo may pressure pero enjoyable naman dahil at least na-experience ko yung pag-akyat sa stage na maraming dream come true ba? Yeah.
First sa mga singers muna, na kung may opportunity, kung lalapit naman, why not? Diba? Grab natin.
And naman, based on my experience, siguro parang huwag kang matakot na i-pursue mo yung yung dream mo.
Well, I'd like to thank all the Filipino community here in Perth, Australia. I'd like to thank you guys for the support na binigay niyo sa amin nung nakaraang concert. Walang hanggang pasasalamat for the overwhelming support na binigay niyo sa amin.
The success of this concert reflected the dedication and commitment of the production team to bringing joy and entertainment to Filipino Australians here in the land down under, as well as providing opportunities to many talented performers. Reporting from Perth, Australia, this is Jenalyn Desby, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Jeneline. We are sure that our Filipino talents gave an exemplary performance during the concert. And that concludes today's program. Thank you for watching Eagle News International Australia Oceania. Join us next time as we share more stories from our viewers across Australia, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. Visit our website on eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on twitter.com/eaglenews and on facebook.com/eaglenews. Stay safe, stay strong, and take care, everyone. From Sydney, Australia, I am AMIDST. Eagle News, we live in interesting times.